Hello Internet, in my quest to find decent audio hardware I've come across this microphone. It is what you're hearing right now. It is the model BM-800. It is unbranded. It seems to be a Chinese OEM which gets whichever name it's going to. I'm actually quite impressed by it. It was only £20. All metal construction. Very impressed when I unpackaged it. And from the sound quality, it's actually pretty damn good. So I'm actually going to put some information out there for people that might be interested in this. There's a few people that's done reviews on it. I found that mine is slightly different to what other people have seen. I'll go more into that when I open it up and show you around it. But as you can see, this is the microphone. It comes with the shock mount, the XLR to 3.5mm cable, which I'll go into more detail with later, and the wind protector or pop filter. It does work quite well as a pop filter as well. Okay, for the rest of this review, you're actually listening to me on a GoPro Hero 3 Plus with the built-in microphone, just as a comparison. So what I've got here is the box for the BM-800. Fairly nondescript on the outside. I did notice that the picture on the front doesn't actually seem to be the same microphone that's in the box. Don't be too deceived by that when you receive it. Not too many specifications on the box, just what it is. It is a condenser microphone. They said that it's a large diaphragm, and it did come with a security seal on it. Now, I have taken the microphone out of the box, but it came with a small instructions card, just some basic operation for a microphone, and quite liked that it came with this expanded hard foam instead of polystyrene or soft foam. I find that's much better for taking a knock in transportation or anything like that. So that's quite nice. Everything was cellophane wrapped. As I say, it did come with the XLR cable, the shock mount, and the wind protector slash pop filter. Seems to be a pretty standard shock mount, just with two pressure clips. All metal construction. Seems to have some kind of nice rubberized finish on the inside to hold the microphone. Does come with the stand screw-on mount as well, but that is currently on my mount. It's quite stiff. I haven't really had a lot of experience with other microphone mounts, but this one does seem quite stiff, but I think it'd do a good job of just taking the knocking sound out of any knocks that you might give to the stand itself. So quite impressed with that. As I say, all metal construction, built quite well, feels good. Pop filter, just standard foam, nothing special about that. And the microphone itself, as you see, BM-800. Now, you'll see in a minute, I think there are various different versions of this that have been sold under the same model number. I've seen a review of a BM-800 before, and inside it took a 1.5 volt AA battery. That is an electric condenser microphone, which doesn't require phantom power. This does, and doesn't have the battery. So when we open it up, bottom screws off, and the main housing slides out. You can see the main board and the construction. XLR connector on the bottom. And this microphone does need phantom power. I've tested it without. It did give a very weak signal without power. So with a decent preamp, I would imagine it is quite usable. But for the best quality out of this mic, you're going to want to use it with phantom power as recommended. The Pcbs, quite well constructed. I've seen in a few comments in different places on the web of other people reviewing these. There are some capacitors missing off the board. It is stated that if you add those back in, it reduces the background noise. I haven't tried it, as you can see. I may in the future. Again, it's all metal construction in here. The top, nice mesh. I don't know if you can just see into the actual microphone in there for the diaphragm. I will be taking this apart in a moment. So far I'm very impressed by this. Nice construction, it's very solid. Okay, so I'm going to actually disassemble this a little bit further, show you the other side of the PCBs and inside the grill. There are 2 screws which hold each PCB. So that's the first one removed. And that's quite interesting. That's very interesting, actually. This actually looks like it may be set up for 2 different types of microphone. The first PCB is actually handling all of the connections. The second PCB is not connected and is only loaded one side with components. So this may be for 2 different diaphragms which they use in different models, and to save cost they just populate both PCBs. So you can see the other side there. Both capacitors are present on that one. That's a 47 and a 22 microfarad, which you can see this side there not populated. So if we open up the grill, see the inside there, nothing much, and the actual diaphragm. It looks like a 16mm diaphragm. There are larger available on the market, but I must reiterate, this cost £20. Okay, so you're back to hearing me on the BM-800, and in shot now is the mixer, which I'm actually connecting the microphone to. It's a Behringer Xenyx 302 USB, and as you can see from here, the gain is actually set right down to the minimum, and the volume for the microphone is set to about half. I'm finding this mic is actually giving quite a nice output. It doesn't need any gain, and I'm actually having to roll the volume off to prevent distortion when I'm recording with it. There is a little bit of background noise, a little bit of hissing. You may even be able to hear the fans in my machine in the background. But overall, I'm very impressed by the quality for this, especially for £20. One thing about the Behringer mixer that I've found, the headset microphone input actually provides phantom power in exactly the same way as the main microphone XLR. Now this mixer is only 14.8 volts phantom power. Most microphones expect 48 volts. This one is clearly working absolutely fine at 14.8, and judging by the circuitry that's on PCBs in the microphone, it would work just fine at 48 volts as well. So that's going to conclude this short review of the BM-800 condenser microphone. You may see other people reviewing this. There seems to be a few different versions of it available. It may just be potluck of which one you get. Obviously this one, very good, but being Chinese, unbranded, you don't really know. It could be the electric type, which requires the AA battery inside, but no phantom power. It could be phantom power only. It could even just be a poorly marketed dynamic microphone. Quite possible. So, £20, you could get a very nice microphone. You could get something that you're not expecting. Potluck, really. But this one, it's a good one.